each other like that when someone knows that person will push. And of course, the big danger is that if you accidentally push, you'll have to give the answer if the question has started. So there's no forgiveness in that. If you push the buzzer, and these buzzers are very accurate. The man who did Lord of the Rings in New Zealand did the electronics for this, is accurate to within 1/10,000th of a second. And this is where sometimes you can sort of feel our buzzer's not working. We're going to give you all practice in a moment, but sometimes you get that feeling, our buzzer's not working, we keep pushing and not getting it. 1/10,000th, that's faster than you can blink. And I cannot see you, no, I'm looking at you. I can't see you fast. It's just Cheryl down here on the motherboard. Cheryl had the motherboard, we haven't turned it on yet. It will register down here with a red light, and she's got her name alongside the red light. So it's only Cheryl and not me who will know who's pushed first. So you may want an individual just to put your hand on the buzzer. One of the things too, the person who pushes the buzzer does not have to be the person who answers.
I need to figure out now.
But if you give an answer and you said John Smith, and you suddenly realize it was John Brown, your first answer stands, and that will be the only answer accepted. So if you then correct it and say John Brown, you've given the clue to every other team. You will be out and they will be in. So it's your first answer. So be a little careful with it. When it comes to authors' names, if the name was Emily Brown or Emil Brown, you're probably just best to say Brown. It's the last name. You know, you're best just to say Shakespeare. Don't say Alan Shakespeare, just go Shakespeare if you're not sure, because we're looking for the last name of the author. You know, it won't really matter if you muck up on the author's first name. That's not so important. And I've spoken to the adjudicator about it. It's the last name of the author that would show that you knew the author's name. Go you, George, first. No. If you do not know the last name and you only know the first name is William, no, it won't. You won't get a point. In fact, you'd lose a point. So just knowing the person's first name wouldn't be enough. You say you do know the last name? Oh, but you don't know how to pronounce it. Have a go at the pronunciation, because I've talked to the adjudicator, we've looked at it. There may be a couple of questions where the pronunciation may catch you. But listen, I just smile and I'm happy with that. You know, a number of times kids have said to me, her name is Persephone instead of Persephone. You're going to get it. We'd never knock you out for your dialect, your accent, or a mispronunciation. Look at that question we had 2 years ago. Ichor was the answer, and a lot of people said Ichor instead of Ichor, you know, the blood that flows in the veins of gods. It won't matter. I'm well prepared for that, and we have discussed that if you mispronounce the answer, we'll take it. And even if you're asked to repeat it again, we'll make sure that we don't muck up with your answer. And Sam. Yes, there is a time limit. You usually got like 5 seconds like this. It's not scientific. But you also have a bit extra because paralelepipeds have to walk to your table with that microphone to give it to you. Because whatever you do, don't call out the answer. Because you may think you pushed first, and sometimes you're so excited, you go, Shakespeare! And it wasn't, it was Dickens, and you think you're first. You actually don't know, and I don't know who's first. It's only Cheryl down here in the motherboard that will know that who's first. So wait for the team's name to be called. I know that I'll hear the buzzer and see the light, but depending on the lighting in here, because it's a blue light, it's not always obvious for me to see the blue light. And so for the Canadian team right now, I can't see their blue light because there's an elbow in the way. But you know, the blue light is not going to be my guide. The only person who will have the answer as to who's pushed first is down here, as we all the cords lean across the floor in another. So Cheryl will tell me. Once Cheryl's told me, she'll say Team Singapore, Team South Africa, and then I'll say, right, Team South Africa, say the answer. If, for instance, South Africa got the question wrong, this doesn't have a memory. So you need to re-buzz when I said that's incorrect. If you hear them say the answer was Shakespeare, and you heard them say Dickens, and you 100% it was Shakespeare, wait until I say it's incorrect before you buzz in. So just wait, and I'll say incorrect, -1. So just wait for me to say the incorrect rather than jump in too quickly, because you may not be the fastest second place team. You're all going to start, well, round 1, funnily enough, isn't authors, round 2 is authors, but we'll put...
Well, they all say authors right now. They all say authors.
Oh, they all say authors.
Yeah.
Our round 1 is not authors, but you will all start with 10 points before we even get into it. So can we go back to the leaderboard, Dan?
We can do that. We can try to do that. We're getting there. Hang on.
You all start with 10. I've never in 24 years had anyone go into negative. But it could happen, but you'd have to answer a lot wrong. You'd have to answer 10 wrong, to get it to negative. So round 1, we'll have the correct names up there tomorrow, but I just didn't want you to see the categories this afternoon. Round 1 is authors. Go on then, Sam. Yep. 10 rounds, 7 questions. I'll discuss that in a moment too, because there's a bit of strategy involved. And you can talk about the coach, talk about it tonight with your coach as well. There is strategy involved. You get a question? Okay. Dan, so Dan's got the whole authors will change them down. There's the leaderboard.
Okay.
It's a little bit present with those.
Well, I that's just test numbers. But
Okay. So every time after the round, we'll come back to this page. This page will be the leaderboard that everyone will see. The audience will see it. And right throughout the quiz, everybody in the audience will see the scores. There's no hiding the scores. There's no blacking out the scores for excitement or tension. We're going to make it 100% transparent. Everybody will be able to see who scored for each question. So that shows the leaderboard. And then when we're ready, Dan will switch to say round 1. Yeah. So he'll come to round 1. And then we'll score you either with 2 points or -1 for each question. So each question will be scored. So if we get a straight off 2, there won't be any -1s. But sometimes teams might, 3 teams in a row might guess it wrong before the team answers it correctly. So everybody can see who's answered. It also means that no team can answer a question twice. You only have the 1 shot at the question. And remember how I am really pleased with myself, if I'm allowed to be, with the questions, because I have structured them so that they seem difficult to start with. Progressively, they get easier and easier. So the team that waits the longest is almost guaranteed to get it right. But if you wait the longest, you're almost guaranteed to miss out on answering as well. So it's one of those really difficult situations. I've got lots of things, but go on. Yes, there is a break. There is a break after round 5. We're going to go to the toilets, and the toilets are out here through those doors. The toilets, get a break, and you'll be able to sit with your coach and strategize or talk or work out what your next strategy would be in the second round. Because some of you may be too cautious in the first round, your coach might say, well, look, go for it. If you think you know it, go for it. Okay. Yes, if everyone gets the question wrong, it dies. And I hate that. I really do not want a question to go unanswered. That's, you know, I love it that you get them right. I never try to write a question that's so hard that no one's going to get it. But then I can't miss it, that I can't always be sure if you're going to know it. You know, so if it was the Polynesian god of the sea, well, I would probably know that Australia and New Zealand may know that, but it wouldn't be a very fair question. So I've got to make sure the questions are internationally, generically fair, you know, to as much as possible. Okay, well, let's move through. Some of the categories you're going to do better on than other categories. For instance, if there's a mythology question, you might really be looking forward to that. If there's a question on animals, horses, you might be looking forward to that. So there will be some categories that you'll be strong on. Novel openings, some of you are going to be absolutely, you know, busting for novel openings. So realise that some categories you'll be strong on. We've seen that happen before, but the Singapore team in their national final was really good on comic characters, and they came through from about third to first in their final. So it can make quite a difference, but you see there's only 7 questions in each category. So I'm looking for your knowledge across 10 categories. And these questions are harder than what you had in the nationals or in your heats. Because they've got to be, because we've got the very best kids that I could find in each of these 7 countries. And this is a dilemma for you, because some of you, it's like bringing together the world's best 100-metre runners. They've never lost in their country. And suddenly they come to the Olympics. And of course, only one runner can win. And this is the thing today that I just want to caution you about. Look, tomorrow is one Wednesday out of 52. It's a special Wednesday, but your prize is the whole week. Your prize is this week in Connecticut. Sure, it would be nice tomorrow to take away the World Cup, and I'll tell you what the prizes are soon. Sure, it would be nice tomorrow to take away the World Cup, but actually your prize has already started, and it continues until the weekend. Your prize is a week in Connecticut. Yes, one team will win tomorrow. That's the way it has to be. And one team will come second, one team will come third. It's those top 3 teams that take the cash prizes and the nice prizes. If you are 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, you will go away with certificates and you will go away with the bookings. You won't leave empty-handed. But the hard thing for many of you is to be able to lose graciously and win graciously, especially when you may not have lost many times in your life before. It's hard. Adults take time to learn that as well. And here you are being expected to learn it now when you're 10, 11, 12, 13. Work together cooperatively. The worst thing you could do tomorrow is to get angry with someone in your team. No one in your team is going to give a wrong answer deliberately. And some of your team may jump in too quickly. But they're not doing that deliberately either. So, you just have to say, well, that's it, and get on with it for the next one. Don't get hung up on a wrong answer or someone pushing too quickly or saying a stupid answer that everyone in the audience knows that even is wrong. No one will do that deliberately. It's pressure. It'll be quite a different atmosphere tomorrow when you look out there and you see everybody there. Now, accuracy is important. You've heard me say lots of times that the best example I could give you was a few years ago where the kids said the mysterious incident of the dog in the night time. They got it wrong. And of course, they didn't know why they got it wrong. They felt sure that was the answer, but of course, the key critical word is the curious incident of the dog in the nighttime. There's quite a lot of difference between mysterious and curious. And we'll tell you tomorrow and tell you now, prepositions don't matter. If you say instead of the, or and instead of prepositions won't matter. And if it's a really long title, it's not going to matter if you muck up a few words. But if it's a relatively short title, and you made a key word like curious or mysterious, you would get that wrong. Now, think about this. If you're mathematically minded, tomorrow there are 140 points available. There are 140 points up for grabs with 7 teams. So, if all 7 teams answered equitably, all answered the same number, you all answered 10. Well, 7 tens are 70, seven questions, and if you all answered 10, it would spread it evenly. So theoretically, if that would happen, you could win tomorrow if you answered 11 questions. That's if all the other teams answered 10. So don't get too worried about it, but do think about the point system. It's not all over at half time with the point system, because I've certainly seen teams come through before. So just work out the points in your head, but you do lose one, of course, if you answer incorrectly.
What happens if they don't?
Yes, what happens if there is a tie? If there is a tie tomorrow, I spent quite a lot of time on working on the tie questions as well. Here are the tie questions in here, and I will make sure that when I look at the question for the tie question will be a question that I know that any team could answer. I'm not going to answer one that's sort of specific to a country, or I would certainly choose one like the question, the answer might be Harry Potter. I might ask a question about Harry Potter here, because I would know that all teams would know it. So if it comes to that horrible situation as a tie, and I hope there's not, I really hope that the team wins tomorrow, wins convincingly, or wins clearly. That's my aim. We have got procedures in place if there's a tie, and that's what I'll talk about in a moment as well, what happens if there's a tie. I guess you're wanting to know what the prizes are tomorrow, because we haven't mentioned the prizes. You've already got the prize, really. You've all won your national heats. That's your prize. But there is a little bonus tomorrow for the first 3 teams. If you're a first tomorrow, you'll get the World Cup, Kidslick Quiz World Cup trophy. Get that engraved. We'll give it to you. We'll give it to you tomorrow afternoon and take it off you 15 minutes later. Whisk it into town and get it engraved, so we can represent it at the international dinner. So you will get the trophy tomorrow. The winning team, each person on the winning team, I haven't seen it yet, but Jane Fox has organised it. They are beautiful, beautiful individual trophies for the 2015 Quiz World Cup. You'll have it until you're 85. You've got to hand it on to your grandchildren, and you'll have a fantastic individual trophy to take away with you to remember this year for the rest of your life. The winning team will also get some American dollars in cash. Each person will get $200 in cash. You'll get a certificate each that you're about to take away, and you'll get a book each, and your coach will get a bottle of champagne. So that's for first. If that's for second, the winning team will get a commemorative American $50 coin showing the Statue of Liberty. It's the first time this $50 coin had ever been issued. You could use it as a $50. You could cash it tomorrow if you wanted to, but it's a commemorative coin and is likely to go up in value, and you can keep that for the rest of your life. It's a commemorative $50 American coin. The Statue of Liberty never been issued before, the $50 coin with the Statue of Liberty. There have been half-dollar coins before, but never with this Statue of Liberty. Each person in the second place team will get in cash in American dollars, $100 each. And they'll get a certificate and a book. If you're in third place tomorrow, you'll get in American dollars, $50 each. You get a certificate and a book.
Plugged into this.
If you're fourth, fifth, sixth, or seventh tomorrow, you will receive a certificate making it
It's a headphone port. This computer doesn't have it.
So that's how they're the prizes.
Doesn't have a microphone port.
If there are media here tomorrow, and we are expecting
There will be media here tomorrow.
And we're trying to get this thing streamed tomorrow as well. If the media is here, that winning team will be expected to talk to the media, and I have already been in contact with the coaches and just saying to you what answer you're going to give if they ask you why do you think you won, what was your strong suit, who was the strength of your team, had you expected this, what preparation had you done. I want you to think about those things because that's the important side of the publicity side, the media side. And as it's growing more and more internationally, people will hear responses. I want you to just sort of think about those.
I don't have a microphone.
The prizes tomorrow will be given in reverse order. Everyone will know the team that's won. And that winning team's going to sit there with big grins on their faces. And you just have to wait until we've given the prize to third, second, and first. Dan will go through the rules for parents. I'm going to go through the rules now with you because we may shorten the rules for the parents, but you will know the specs for the rules. You'll know the fine points for the rules, and we're going to talk about those in just a moment. We won't muck around too much after the quiz because we've got an international dinner and we'll need to get dressed up formally for that formal dinner. And your best clothes and looking absolutely smart and immaculate, and you'll be mixed up around the tables. And I want you to be chatty, informative, eloquent. I want you to be on your best behaviour and just mixing with the authors and talking as though you do this every day. Let's give you some practice on the buzzer. I'll ask you some short answer questions. You can just see how it goes on the buzzer, and then I'll think if you haven't pushed the buzzer, we'll give you a chance to push the buzzer in a moment. Sure, yeah, we'll turn on. Okay, so don't push the buzzer yet. Here we go. Here's the first short answer question. And wait, because we'll bring the microphone to you. This will give you an example. Give Annalise a chance to practice with the microphone. What horoscope sign is twins? Team United Kingdom.
Gemini.
Yep, see, and I only got to 1 second because you had that time to think before the microphone came to you. It's Gemini, yes. Say it nice and loud because everyone in the audience is going to want to know anyway. Okay, another question for you. What's the correct name for snake poison? Team New Zealand.
Venom.
Venom is correct. Well done. Slightly harder one for you.
It's I can switch it.
How many seconds in 1 hour?
It's switchable.
3,600.
Oh, that was pretty good. 3,600 seconds in an hour. I don't know if you were walking around that knowledge or you quickly did mathematically in your head, but that was pretty good. Okay, another one for you, a literary one, this one. Who wrote Oliver Twist? South Africa. It's coming to you.
Charles Dickens.
Yes. Good. Well, maybe you park and keep the microphone a little bit away, and you can say, "Yeah, you've got a deep." That's really good. But if you get too loud, if you come back like this, it'll be easy. for you. That's why we want this dress rehearsal and practice. So I'm sure we'll answer some questions tomorrow, so that will give you a good test of what the microphone is like. Okay, another question. What do you call a window built into a roof? Team Australia. Nice and loud.
Skylight?
Yeah, everyone can hear that. Skylight's correct. Well done. You'd get 2 points. But these are short answer questions. It's just too much effort. Not too much effort, but too hard to. If I'm writing a question for the a long one like that, I'd rather use it for the quiz than a practice round. Here's one. I don't know if you're going to know this one so much. Who was the person that wrote this poem? It was the night before Christmas, when all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Team Canada.
Lewis Carroll?
Not Lewis Carroll, lose one, and now our team is buzzed in. And who? Team United Kingdom.
Dr. Seuss?
Dr. Seuss. It does sound a bit like something he would write. And everyone is passing. I will tell you then, this would happen in the World Farm as well. I'll tell you his first name is Clement. Clement is his first name. And his last name starts with M for mother. But lucky tomorrow, there's no poetry around, aren't you? The answer is Clement Moore. Clement Moore wrote that. It was Night Before Christmas. Let's go to another one. What is the correct medical name for the soft spot on top of a baby's head? Starts with F. That soft spot on top of a baby's head. It's so important you don't drop the baby when they're just little. Starts with F. It's not going to matter if you want to have a guess now. If you think you know, no, it's good. This is only playing. Okay, mother out there, tell us. June? Fontanelle. Fontanelle is that name of the soft spot. Let's give you another one then. What was the name of the long robe worn in ancient Rome? Team US coming to you now.
Toga.
Correct. Toga is correct. You can see how fast you have to be. Some of you are knowing these, but are missing on them. Slightly more obscure one. What's the capital city of Bangladesh? Team US.
Dakar?
Yeah, Dakar. Dakar, well done. Another one, what's the chemical symbol for silver? Team US.
AG.
AG is correct. Gold is AU, silver is AG. I'll give you another question. What's the name of the long dress worn by women in India? Team New Zealand. Now,
Sorry.
Sari is correct. Well done. In the world, 8 countries end with this particular letter. There are only 8 countries that end with this particular letter, and I want you to name 2 countries that end with the letter Y. Okay, Team Canada, coming to you now.
7.
Does that, no, ends with the letter Y. You gave me a country that started with the letter Y. I think you said Yemen. Okay, that passed. Who wants to jump in next? Team Singapore.
New Jersey and Germany.
New Jersey's not a country, Christopher. It's a state. It's a state in America. Okay, Australia was next. Team Australia. 2 countries at the end of the letter Y.
Italy and Turkey?
Italy and Turkey are correct. Yes, you could have given me Paraguay, Uruguay, Germany, Norway, Hungary, or even if you want, as Pincher would have taken the Vatican City. So plenty of 8 countries ended with the letter Y. Let's give you another one. What book title followed this one? This was, I'm going to mention the first one, you tell me the second one. What book followed Eragon? New Zealand, Team New Zealand.
Elvis.
Aldous was correct. Well done. That's get you 2 points. Another question. Who was the Russian president? Team United Kingdom. What is the second prime number? Team USA.
3.
Yes, 1 was the first one, 3 is the second. Done quite well on those 2 maths questions, haven't you?
The other thing we could do,
Sorry.
we could hook this up to a speaker and put the speaker right next to the.
Onto the stage.
I can't get it to the stage, but if we get a speaker here, right next to the.
You're still going to get far too much audience noise.
They asked for the second prime number.
Yeah.
Well, yes. One. Yes, I said it correctly. Yeah, you did right. So 2 and then 3. Yeah. It's a number that's divisible by 1 in itself. Sorry. Thank you for picking me up on that. It's good. I hope you don't have to pick me up on any of the illusory ones tomorrow. Give me an anagram for that. You know, if you went out to a restaurant and had a really juicy, lovely steak. An anagram for steak. Another word that can be made from steak. Team New Zealand.
Cakes.
Takes would be fine. You could give me skate, and you could give me teaks, lots of woods, I suppose, teaks. Or you could give me the other steak that went through the heart of Dracula. So that's an anagram. Let's give you another one. And give me the name of the famous painter who cut off his ear. Team Australia.
Vincent van Gogh.
Yes, that's correct. Well done. It's said nice and loud. Everyone can hear it. A nursery rhyme. In the nursery rhyme, who went to bed with his trousers on? Team USA.
My son John.
My son John went to bed with his trousers on. What's the name for give me the correct name for the boundary between 2 countries? Team United Kingdom.
Border.
Border is correct. A couple of questions to go, and then we'll go over the rules. And
So
give every person a chance to push the buzzer. Some of you haven't pushed it.
Now,
Who was the UN Secretary General,
I don't know if I've
leader of the
heard that
United Nations?
Ban Ki-moon.
Ban Ki-moon is correct. He's the Secretary General of the United States, United Nations. And your last question:
For the team or the girls are.
what part of Rudolph was shining? Team Australia. See, that's an easy one. It shows you how quick you have to jump up.
His nose.
Absolutely right, kid. Woo, his nose. Okay. There's perhaps some of the questions. We'll actually, we'll keep the buzzers on. Just number yourself 1 to 4 on the team. I'm going to give each person a practice in between the explaining the rules. So, okay, number 1 on New Zealand, push the buzzer. Number 1 on USA. 1 UK. 1 SA. 1 Singapore.
Do you have a USB?
1 Canada. And 1 Australia. Okay. And then we'll do 2 and we'll break. 2 New Zealand, 2 USA, 2 UK. So you don't need to hammer the buzzer because it's just take a light push. They're not going to like because if you break that buzzer, your team sits there with a broken buzzer. South Africa, yeah, it's 2. Singapore, 2. Yeah, it's easy. Try and get the buzzer on the top rather than the side, but you know, just a depression, a depression on the buzzer that the ball takes. Team Canada 2 and Australia 2. Okay, here are the rules, and we'll give 3 and 4 a chance to push the buzzer. There are 10 categories: 7 questions in each category. Dan will say this to the audience, but there are a few points here that, won't be worth telling the audience, but I'll just tell you, and especially when it comes to the a tie. None of you know the categories in advance. You probably know 3 of them in advance, but you wouldn't know many more. You wouldn't know any more than that. All the questions are answered by the buzzer, and Mara and Elise will come to you with that. These questions are much longer, more structured, and more difficult than you've had in a national or a heat. They start obscurely, but they slowly go to the obvious, just like peeling the skin often. I do not repeat the question. Sometimes when someone breaks in and gets it wrong and loses one, I might go back 2 or 3 words just to pick up the thread of it, so you know where it was broken into. But I don't repeat the question, so you do need to listen carefully.
Like these.
All teams start with 10 points. You can give me the answer at any time in the question. But once you push that buzzer, and even if you push it, you don't know, you've got 5 seconds to tell me you don't know, give me the answer. The person who pushes the buzzer doesn't have to be the one that answers for the team. But if you accidentally push the buzzer, then you have to give an answer or say pass. The buzzer system doesn't have a memory, so you'd have to buzz again if the team gets it incorrect. 2 points for a correct answer and 1 point for one minus for an incorrect answer. The reason for that's obvious, because if I didn't do that, you could deliberately jump in with the buzzer, push the buzzer, block all the other teams while you worked out the answer. So it's just it's a horrible -1, but it's not the end of the world if you get a -1. You all start with 10 and a 2, quickly picks it up if you get that. If you give an incorrect answer, your team can't come back in for that question. You'll have to wait for the next one. Now, as I said before, your first answer will be the only one accepted. If you accidentally said Smith and you meant Brown, you can't, well, if you did say that, you've given all the other teams the correct answer, probably if you suddenly realised that your first answer was wrong, so your best is to not say anything. This one that I've spoken to the adjudicator, she's a superintendent of schools. She's a really switched on lady. She'll be here tomorrow. She's got the questions. I sat down yesterday and spent an hour with her while we looked at all the questions. Accuracy is important, but as I've said before, if it's Captain Underpants and Invasion, the incredibly naughty cafeteria ladies from outer space, thing, the adjudicator and I have agreed on the correct answer. There's keywords are important. Tomorrow, to the best of my knowledge, there is no long question, long answer like that. No. This is what you asked about before. In the event of a tie, I hope I hope there's no tie tomorrow. As much as a tie might be good, it becomes unfortunate that one team will lose and another one will win in the case of a tie. If the scores at the end are tied, it will be decided by sudden death question, these red ones that I've got here. If just two teams tie for first, the winner will be decided by 3 questions. I'll ask 3 questions. If one team answers 2 straight off, they will win. So if 2 teams tie, it'll be 3 questions. But what say 3 teams tie, or 4 teams tie, or all of you tie for first? If there's a tie for more than 2 teams, I will start reading these sudden death questions and the first team to answer 2 correctly. So I wouldn't expect all of you, but say there's 3 teams that tie for first. I'll start reading these sudden death questions, and the first team out of the three to answer two. So it could go 1-1-1, and then next one. The first team to answer two will be the winner. No, in the tiebreaker, the scores will stand up there. If there was a tie for first and both teams had 30 points, just so the world will know, just for the record book, the team that won, we'd give them just 1 point more. So instead of two teams showing 30,
Yeah,
one
that's
team
not gonna.
would then show 31.
Oh, wait a minute, something just happened.
30. You wouldn't get a point taken off. So if you had
So if I just
30
play with the
tie,
plug,
it
it
wouldn't
should
drop down to
recognize it?
29.
Is that-
The winning team, if two teams had 30.
Yeah,
and
still
I want to
it thinks
separate
it
so the whole
thinks they're
world
head
sees
it
one,
thinks they're
give that
headphones.
winning
That's the
team
problem.
1 extra point so everyone can see. Just make sure you've got your cell phones with you, no water on the table.
Yeah.
Because of the electronics. You can
Yeah.
stop at half time, have a drink at a toilet break. Pretty good idea that you've been to the toilet. If, you're going to be slightly nervous, make sure you go to the toilet. Don't eat too much, maybe at lunchtime if you're nervous. But it's just over to you.
Well, if I found if I got this converted, got an adapter that went from 2 to 3, would that force it to work? Well, there's no radio flags anymore. But.
I only need the. We would have a tie break for second and third because there's money involved. But if two teams tie for fourth or two teams tie for fifth or sixth or seventh, there won't be.
And you don't have any.
But I have to separate first, second, and third because of the prizes involved. So if it's first, I would just leave it at first, and then I'd ask the second place team and the third place team to participate on tiebreaker.
And if a team answered incorrectly and you knew that, and for whatever reason your team buzzes in before you tell them they're incorrect, would you be the next to answer, or would you have to wait until after you said that buzz again? Yeah, you've got to wait until I say that's incorrect. Because sometimes you're going to know, you're going to smile and say to yourself, I know that's wrong. Oh, they've jumped in too quickly, they've said the wrong answer. You've just got to be a little bit patient because you've got to wait for Cheryl to tell me who's the second. So you can't just, I know how excited you will be, but you just can't jump in and give it to me too quickly. I'm going to turn to the audience and ask anyone in the audience with any questions, that's your coaches, if they've got any concerns, or if your parents are here, if they've got any concerns. Then I'll come back to you if there's anything you don't know. I'm pretty sure I've covered everything. 10 questions, 7 categories. It's going to be a wonderful day tomorrow. But this is one Wednesday.
They don't have them at the Apple Store, but they might have them at Best Buy. They do.
Can't wait for that. Fantastic. Okay, audience.
Sold them. Shoot, they got to have it in the store.
If you could, the question was that if you didn't know how to pronounce it, you wanted to spell it, that's fine. But have a go at saying it, and if it's not clear, very big could ask you to adjudicate it, spell it, or I might ask you to spell it. Yes, spelling would be good. You wouldn't lose the mark, and you won't really lose the mark if you mispronounce it too. As I said, if you said Hermie one instead of Hermione, well, I think I know what you mean, Hermione. Petra?
So before he says your opening line, and the first thing that makes it wrong, does it automatically go to the same thing that buzzing or everybody buzzes in?
If you all buzz in at the same time, comes here to the motherboard, Cheryl will tell me who's won that vote, but if you got it wrong, you'll then need to listen to see if things got wrong, and you have to buzz in again. We do not know who buzzed second. Doesn't have a memory. So you have to redo it. I'll come to you tonight, George, just make sure that it's all clear there for everyone else. Right, George.
When like last night, often 3 teams hit it when there was a big delay, and one team gets it, say they get it wrong, 2 teams still want the question. How do we know when the cutoff is what's active?
The buzzer will be activated as soon as The instant I say, sorry, incorrect, the buzzer will be back
I
live.
have more complicated
Live, as
questions,
soon as
but
you've heard
I can
the
find one that'll.
say incorrectly, the buzzer will be live again to get that second boost. Okay, EPCL number 3. United States 3.
I have older apples, I have older
UK 3.
No, it's,
South Africa 3.
it's Apple has
Singapore 3.
different.
Canada
Right,
3.
yeah, and if so, if this had, basically, the guys I just play with, this had the third ring on it.
South Africa 4.
It's just the problem, or the one, or a single ring, that's the problem with this. Or can we have another, can we use an adapter to,
Kathy, anything you want to add, anything you want to say?
let me think about it, figure something out.
Yes, we'll mention the authors. The authors are going to be sitting somewhere down here. We won't introduce you to the authors tomorrow at the quiz, but you will be introduced to the authors at the dinner, and there'll be an author just about on every table tomorrow. Dan, are you with me? Yes, we're doing it at the banquet. So New Zealand, have you given your present to Kathy, Dr. Kushian? South Africa, have you given, no, so South Africa, you've given yours to Maureen Billings, yet, have you? No, that's all right, she'll be here tomorrow at the dinner. Australia, have you given yours to Lady Bombard? No. Will she be at the dinner tomorrow? Okay, you're going to do it, bring it to the dinner tomorrow. USA, you're giving your present, instead of giving it to Mr. William Bumpus, you're giving it to Carl Lovett. He's like the chancellor and vice chancellor of the university. So USA, you're giving it to Dr. Lovett, Carl Lovett tomorrow. I've spoken to Liz Natalia about it. She knows, so she's got the present, and I know what the gift is. So Carl will like that. Now, unfortunately, I'm not sure if Canada, Team Canada, gave their gift yesterday to Stephanie Cummings at the Blue Bank Square when she spoke about the books, Team Canada. Oh, okay. Team Canada, apparently that was our only opportunity to see Stephanie yesterday when she spoke about the books. So in that case, if you give your present to Kathy, so just sometime this afternoon or tonight or tomorrow, give it to Kathy, she can put it in her room and give it to her. That was her only opportunity tomorrow. UK, you've given yours to Jane, and Singapore. Darlene's here. Darlene's over there in the back of Singapore, so you've given. No, okay. When you're ready, Darlene will be here tomorrow. She'll also be here at the dinner, so anytime. Yeah. Okay, so I think we've got those sorted out, Kathy. There's no present. Oh, so what do we do with that? I think that would be a good idea. When he comes off the podium tomorrow, the governor will be here. When he comes off the podium tomorrow, come and catch him there and do maybe, well, Team Australia's going to be here, the governor's going to be here, so maybe you do that. Sure. No, yeah.
Anyway, one of the reasons we were able to get you cash prizes for the top 3 places was some of our corporate sponsors. One of which is Comcast, who everybody knows as being a US as being one of the largest media companies in the country. They own NBC, they own Universal, they own they are also coming, they own NBC 30, which is our local NBC station. I spoke to a reporter this morning, they are going to be coming tomorrow to cover, probably along with everybody else, because the governor's here, but so media will. But the Comcast folks sent me little earbuds for all of you, which I'm going to give you. Which are kind of a nice gift. Not earbuds for sleep, no, earbuds like headphones. Headphone earbuds. Yeah. So for you to use with your iPhone.
Yeah, when Dan mentioned to me, I'm not sure it's just a Kiwi thing, you know, it's an earbud. These are headphones that you could use on the airplane, or you could use listening to your music. They're not things to put in your ears for going to sleep. Yeah, don't wear these tomorrow. Okay, guys, I think we've just about wrapped it up. Any final questions? If there's any final question you think of during the night, you can ask the coach. The coach can speak to me. I think, Darlene, we just need to fix the Team UK flag, which is a little bit on an angle. We can just, the table on it, it's just looking very funny for them. And at least, if I can get my
So the other thing, everybody get a meeting? We are attempting to do a live stream tomorrow. So what I'll do is I'll post the link for that live stream for anybody who wants to. There's international Facebook pages for everybody. So there's a US page. There's a lot of you found it. But also, I will post the link for the live stream tomorrow onto the US page, and I'll let everybody sort of spread it out among the pages around the world. Yeah. It's going to be, we've been trying it for just now, and it works. We're worried about the sound. I'm trying to come up with the sound, better sound. So the picture's a little fuzzy, but we'll get the gist of it. It'll work for our purposes. So, yeah, it'll be fun. I mean, at the very least, we've got something out there.
Okay, well, thank you very much, coaches, for attending, and parents for coming, and thank you, Kathy, for coming, and kids for coming now. Kathy, you want to just talk about what happens now?
Room. It has a little stage, and a microphone, and chairs. Anybody who wants to join us can join us. And he's going to teach you how to do this second year. You're going to tell something about yourself. So I think you should feel comfortable. You're on the spot. This is wonderful. We know him from last year.
Thanks, Kathy. So, Kathy, we're going straight to the cafeteria. Okay, straight to the cafeteria, guys. All right, we'll see you tomorrow for the real thing. Good luck, everyone.
And well, it is, except this doesn't work because it's Apple. He's going to try again. Don't worry about it. Yeah, come on. You have a mic and USB. It's so much easier. Exactly. Get rid of this paragraph. So it's anyway. He's going to try and get the adapted it. Well, just have to use that. Okay. Right. Yeah. Nothing's ever really ideal. We'll do our best. Thanks. You're welcome. Yeah. So I'm just going to leave that there, and then I don't think it's okay. Because I know if there's actual press attending the event, they might need that. So I don't know if it's easier just to stick with the webcam and do it that way, even though it's not ideal. Oh, are you saying the press will need that? Yeah, well, actually, there's a. Isn't there a box? Yeah, there is a box. No, there is a box. I'm just not familiar with how that works. So I think it could be several different streams going into it. But I just want to. Yeah. I just wanted to prepare you for that. For whatever event something happens. Yeah. And then that's another thing. I thought, wow, the box. Keep forgetting that's like around. It get used very frequently. It's very much like, oh, I get the press box. It runs and grabs it and it tries to throw it together last time. Yeah, it is awesome. Thanks. Look on the screen.
This Stephanie, please do not mix it up.
I'm so excited. Cool. You could have done it. I could actually have done it. I just wasn't sure that I knew how to. No, Georgie. One of the reasons we deal with that, and then always they had to be computer to, and every time I went there was a company now. Today, I did it. Oh, yeah. No one, we couldn't start
Australia gets the
That's the right size.
I can't.